So next is array iteration. Yes. You thought we can add as many elements to our array. Printing each of them can get quite tedious. For example, if we have 10 names of friends in our array, we will need to specify each of their array index to print them. For example, we have arrays, strings named by friends, and curly braces, and consistent sum 10 names, and there is we see a large amount of system out println methods that printed. I guess it will be a little bit longer, so to avoid this we will use this part of coding. So likely we can use loops which we had learned previously to help us with this process to print out all of our friends' names without repeating the print statement 10 times. We can use for loop to iterate 10 times. So this part of coding is not changed, but changed an outputting method and part. So this we use for loop, and we have int data type, and we give our int data type a name I, and I is equal to 0, and I will produce to until I will not no, this part of code means that I will produce 10 times, and by increasing, yes, and methods outputting system of println friends and I. As you understand, I is equal to 0, that will increase to 10, and there is nothing happened, but let me copy it and do this. Yes, this work. As you can see, this part of coding will economize our time. So important. Did you notice that the print statement above includes I as the index for friends? We do this because I will take on the values specified for the for loop. For the loop start at 0 and increment by 1 until it reaches 9, not including 10. And that means that if there will be element, if there will be, for example, I equal and smaller than 10, this and that situation 10 will be included. Thus friends in index 0 will print, then friends index 1, so and so on, and so forth until friends by index 9 is printed. Then the loop ends. So next, array length. To make the iteration process easier, we can use an instance variable called length to determine how many elements are in our array. To use length, just call it by adding a period after our array followed by a length. For example, friends length. I guess it's more, I think it's clear. So this means that we have some kind of strings or arrays named by friends, our previous string that consists 10 elements. So for determine their length, we just print our name of arrays, and we add a period and just write the word length. Yes, so let me show you something different. So system out println friends point length. Then yes, as you can see, the length of our arrays is 10. This means that arrays consist 10 elements. So notice how friend length continues to keep track of how many elements are in our array, even though we have made several changes. There is some questions for you. So using an enhanced for loop. There is a special type of for loop that can be used with arrays called an enhanced for loop. An enhanced for loop, also known as a for each loop, can be used to iterate through array elements without having to refer to any array indices. To use an enhanced for loop, you need the following: the keyword for followed by parentheses, a typed and iterating variable followed by colon, followed by the array name. Note that the iterating variable must be of the same type as the array. Any comments that repeat within curly braces. Note that when you're using an enhanced for loop, you can print the iterating variable itself without using brackets. So there is an example of what I just talked about. Our string, for loop, string, and try it. So let me copy it and print it there. Top, 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 top. So let's click it again. So as you can see, that code is working. And as you so just move on. So there is some question for you. And there is important thing. One of the main difference between a regular for loop and enhanced for loop is that the enhanced for loop does not refer to any index or position of the elements in the array. But if you need to access or modify array elements, you cannot use enhanced for loop. In addition, you cannot use an enhanced for loop to iterate through a part of the array. So yes. So for example, you can not use for int I, and let me just colon, yes, for int I colon friends, since friends is a string array and I is an integer variable. Use instead of this for string I colon friends. Yes. So last page of our section, array algorithms. In addition to being used with loops, array can also be used with conditionals to help with tasks such as searching for particular elements, finding a minimum or maximum element, or printing elements in reserved order. There you can see the example of that part. Let me just copy it and paste. Top. Oh. Top. Just and click chat. A camera is available. Yes. roots we have just many examples. So if discuss about that code, we have string arrays that named by cars and some name of cars, and string Camry. A Camry is not available and for default type for string value. For string arrays named by cars, if string is equals to array, if equal to Camry, if Camry is in array, Camry will equal to a Camry is available. Variable changes if Camry exists. Yes. So there is, and also we also accessing to Camry. Yes. If you just delete the Camry, this will print with whenever Camry exists or not. Yes. So yes, this is the end of our section. I think everything is clear. So bye.